Good morning, everybody. Just gonna gather in here, get a few more people in, but while we do that, my name is Jeannie Kruger, and oh, is it? Oh, listen, there's music. Anyway, while we're waiting, we're just gonna get some housekeeping done. Um, Great. So, just some Teams meeting tips along the way. If you can click on the pop-out icon to enlarge content in a separate window. Use the Q&A feature for questions, and we'll open them up at the end of the presentation. And please note this session is being recorded, and that the recording will be made available to you afterward. Okay, so as a regular practice at Arcadis, we start meetings with a health and safety moment. So we will do that. Then we'll share a short video about High Five Lives and introduce you to today's presenters. And then today's high five is celebrating and embracing innovation at the Chicago Department of Transportation and the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana. They will share about their needs for a digital solution, specifically portfolio insights, a program management information system, and talk about the benefits gained in their vision for their digital solution. So we'll move on to our safety moment. Yeah, it's a very good topic. Sleep is everything. Sleep can affect so many things in so many parts of your life. I know that personally, but sleep is your superpower. So for better sleep quality, consider focusing on the following: a strict sleep routine, going to bed and getting up at roughly the same time every day. Your sleep environment, make sure it's dark, make sure it's not too hot, not too cold. And food and drink, they recommend that you don't eat about 2 to 3 hours before bed because that can kind of mess with you. And we won't get into the biology of it, but trust me. And then screen time. Screen time can stimulate your brain so that it will interrupt your sleep. So put those screens away and maybe stick to a book before bed. And also overall self-care and sleep tactics that work for you, and you know that they're there. But sleep can impact so many areas of your life, so I think it's a fantastic moment to capture. Okay, we're going to watch a short little video here. It's just a minute long and a couple of minutes long, and we'll be moving on. All right, had to come off mute. So let's introduce the team today. I'm really excited to share this group with you today. My name is Jeannie Kruger. I am the area leader for the Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, as well as the program manager within Arcadis. And I'm very excited. I absolutely love this product, so I tend to be a bit of a champion on it, and love the work that they've been doing. So I'll introduce the team to you. First off, we have Robin Gardner. Robin is the Chief Operations Analyst for the City of Chicago Department of Transportation, and she currently acts as lead portfolio manager for CDOT's first ever project and financial management system utilizing all of Portfolio Insights platform. The customized platform, renamed by CDOT as EPS or Enterprise Portfolio System, is a $6 million plus 5-year and counting development project to manage more than $600 billion in federal grants and 45 distinct work groups. Yes, that's an ROI of 1 cent on each federal dollar. So it's pretty decent. Robin has been in the project management field for over 20 years with government and consulting experience, primarily with aviation and transportation clients. She's also managed multi-billion-dollar capital budgets for large-scale projects and programs throughout her career. She has her Master of Public Administration, PMI's Project Management Professional Certification, and a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification. She has a passion for literacy and making working environments better by understanding her team's needs and providing them with tools for success. Next up, we have Uriel Castillo. Uriel is from Fort Wayne City Utilities. He is currently the program manager for engineering administration within the Fort Wayne City Utilities. He has a background in technology and engineering. He oversees PMIS, GIS, real estate, CAD, and admin groups, as well as plays an integral part of the utilities business network and technology. Uriel helps ensure staff have the things they need to perform services and goals. He's a firm believer in people first, continuous improvement, innovation, and industry best practices. We also have the wonderful Cheryl Shearer with us. She's also from Fort Wayne City Utilities. Cheryl is the PMIS administrator for the city of Fort Wayne. She's a professional responsible for overseeing the overall workings of the PMIS software. Her daily tasks include managing the developed platform for nearly 1,000 users and over 800,000 documents monthly. She assists with developing, testing, and maintaining low-code workflows for change management and construction-based use cases. She collaborates with internal and external SMEs to integrate systems with the platform to optimize organizational data, manage acceptance testing, and validation. Sherilyn also leads platform training, including creating content and delivering training to users. On the Arcadis side, we have Ertan Akbash. He is our Vice President and Digital Lead at Arcadis. He's a proven leader in business analysis, design, development, and implementation of IT solutions. Ertan has worked with utilities throughout the United States and globally to implement information technology solutions. Ertan is the product manager for Portfolio Insights, utilizes his extensive experience evaluating, selecting, and implementing a variety of software for Arcadis clients, including program management, enterprise resource planning software, document management, content management, laboratory information management systems, computerized maintenance management systems, and financial information systems to improve portfolio insights and provide value to his clients. We also have Samir Shroff, who is our product owner. Samir has extensive experience in all aspects of software development lifecycle, including business analysis, system architecture, design, development, and quality assurance. Samir played a primary role in the development and deployment of Portfolio Insights and currently serves as its product owner. So that's the team. I'm very excited to bring them to you today. So to talk about Portfolio Insights and a little bit more about what it can do, I'm going to pass this over to Ertan Akbash.
Thank you, Jeannie. Portfolio Insights was built with and for city departments, utilities, and government agencies to meet their needs for their large and diverse capital improvement programs. It is meant to handle everything from the planning to the project management, construction management, and then post-construction activities. And it was designed to give information to stakeholders at all levels. So the executives can see how their portfolio program or project is performing, and CMs and contractors can visualize construction activities. And if a contractor submits a pay estimate or an RFI, they can quickly see where it is and how long it's been outstanding. All with the design of making it cost effective and highly configurable for our clients. So it is a software as a service platform. So it's a secure web-based application that you can access from anywhere via a browser. And it is designed to manage all aspects of capital improvement. So that is portfolio management, program management, project management, funding, documents, construction, post-construction activities, all to promote transparency and accountability, and then to make organizations more efficient, so reduce turnaround times and reduce costs, and ultimately to help with collaboration for all the stakeholders. And it's used by, well, it's been used by hundreds of clients over the years. This is just a sample list of clients, but what you can see is it supports entities that have very large capital improvement programs and then smaller capital improvement programs. So it will work across the large and small organizations. Doesn't mean it's any less complex. If it's a smaller capital improvement program, there's the same needs and the system can handle both. And the success we found is dedication to our clients, right? Arcadis is dedicated to the success of our clients. Our goal is to achieve positive outcomes for our clients and improve quality of life, safety, and sustainability. That's a philosophy that drives all our business activities and is embedded in our culture. So with that, I always ask, ever wonder why some software implementations succeed, even for very large, complex organizations, and then some software implementations don't succeed for even agile organizations? And from what I've found, it is primarily due to the leaders and change managers in the organization. Those are the people that help the organization implement change to achieve their goals. They use from their toolbox communication, critical thinking, and business management skills to guide the organization through that change process. I'm lucky and honored to work with such a leader in the CDOT organization, and she does it with patience, empathy, and humor. And that person is Robin Gardner, who will now discuss CDOT's experience to date with Portfolio Insights.
Thank you, Artan. And it's a pleasure working with you and our entire EPS team as well. Thank you for inviting me to speak on behalf of the City of Chicago Department of Transportation and our new Portfolio Insight system. As has been mentioned, we relabeled it Enterprise Portfolio System, or EPS, because government agencies love initials and abbreviations. I'm Robin Gardner. I'm the Chief Operation Analyst for CDOT and the lead PM for EPS. Next slide. So how large and complex is CDOT? Well, this is one of our more current projects. Isn't she pretty? This took about 15 years from cradle to operational, and it will need to have inspections and maintenance and rehab on it in the future years. EPS is what we needed, and we studied about 10 years ago. We started trying to figure out, what did CDOT need? Well, we manage around $600 billion every 5 years in federal grants, and those wonderful grant assurances require us to track, manage, report on each contract, type of funding, status, whether it's a project, a program, or a portfolio. CDOT currently manages and tracks each phase of the project using a siloed spreadsheet from a project manager. We're masters of Excel, but meeting our Fed grant assurances or answering simple questions results in a fire drill. A fire drill is basically each project manager in each phase must stop doing their day job and enter their status and cost into a new spreadsheet. This does not make CDOT's work visible and is certainly not working smarter. Our solution? Enterprise Portfolio System utilizing Arcadis' Portfolio Insights. Next page. So how complex is the city? We're about 235 square miles. We have 4,000 plus streets, 200 plus bridges. And this map displays approximately 1,500 residential construction work orders. That's CDOT's 2024 residential work. Uses about 95% local funding and accounts for about 5% of CDOT's total annual work. Next screen. This slide is from a golden ticket user, so we see everything. This is a ball and court screen, but security by roles enables project managers to restrict contractors to only see their contracted project. We had a mayor executive order that says the city shall pay each contractor within 30 days of work completion. CDOT's original discovery identified ball and court and invoice duration as essential opportunities for EPS to resolve. Now, CDOT had worked for years internally on this invoice challenge, but due to our mastery of silo spreadsheets, we didn't have an easy, visible way to measure our performance or show the root cause of problems. This ball and court screen provides not only duration time for each invoice, but also when and by whom it resides or if it's delayed. On an upside, EPS has eliminated the need for our contractors to call CDOT staff asking, where's the invoice? They see it for themselves. Now that's visibly working smarter. Next screen. This is our dashboard for strictly our CDOT residential construction. It shows about 6 contracts and it displays EPS invoicing. It enabled CDOT to generate performance metrics across multiple contracts and projects. It also improved communication with internal and external stakeholders with about 45 work groups and eliminated around 1 million emails. The dashboard also provided CDOT how long that we were processing most residential construction invoices in less than 30 days. And a delinquent contractor took more than 45 days to DocuSign. Yes, we're integrated. It's a click of a button and it's completely certified. And then the comptroller can pay them. CDOT knows we need to work smarter. In about 5 years, a majority of CDOT's staff will qualify for retirement. Resources are scarce to hire, even for private industry. And as a government agency like CDOT, we cannot compete on pay or benefits. CDOT needs EPS in order to operate smarter. Short story. In 2022, the city was decommissioning Windows 13. Don't get me started about how old this is. So the EPS team had 1 year to go from discovery to operational to replace CDOT's solo residential construction invoicing system. In January 2023, EPS invoicing went operational and enabled contractors online to submit monthly invoices. So in some description of this, before EPS in 2022, CDOT's 1 FTE staff paid about 1,200 invoices across 6 contracts for about $45 million. Now, why 1? Well, her 2 colleagues had retired the year before. In 2023, with EPS operational, CDOT paid $95 million to the same 6 contracts. We used 52 invoices. CDOT is visible and working smarter. Next screen. So yes, we are small but mighty right now. EPS operational for about 5% of CDOT's projects. The EPS team was authorized to build a big, elegant bridge between CDOT's past, our Excel spreadsheets, and our future, a digital world for 90% of CDOT's complex projects and work processes. Things CDOT knew: map how CDOT works, standardize workflows, automate document retention, make reporting easier, and probably most importantly for all us change managers, do not fix things that are not broken. Our current schedule of development: implement EPS for 90% of CDOT by the end of 2026 at a cost of about 1 penny per federal grant dollar managed. And now Artana is going to show you a movie because we are in mostly test and Figma screens. We're not quite operational yet, but we're close. So this screen shows you projects and how you can search for them and get whatever information you need. It also will roll up to program level and portfolio levels. And users can filter however they need to on the system. For an individual project, we've loaded our 43rd Street Bridge, which was that big, beautiful construction picture you saw. This puts it all in one place, unlike our silo spreadsheets. It has geolocation and it is connected to the city's GIS database. So after each project manager begins a project, they will geolocate it. It will automatically push to the city GIS system, and it will download so that any of our GIS managers can simply run a report and show a map. Related projects, because we know things associate with each other. Traffic signals, bike lanes, and lots of other things. Schedules. This is how the fire drills go away. The major milestones we're going to put in and automate as much as we can as it moves along. But it also allows project managers to put in new tasks and new dependencies. And it'll be reportable. Gone are the fire drills. Budgets, contracts, task orders. Knowledge is power. And this was some of our core problems, the what, when, who, and how much. Streamlining this to automate boilerplate and templates, showing where all the contracts are, what they look like, what are their dates, how much max allowable is there, will just simply help us manage smarter. It makes everything visible in one specific place. Subcontractors, are they authorized? What's their status? What percentage is being used? These are questions we get asked all the time. This makes it simpler. This is how we pay for things. Being able to have one single place to show what the total cost is for our risk management after that big, beautiful bridge is built, well, this helps us insure it and know what the replacement cost would really look like. Something CDOT struggles to do right now on all of our beautiful silo spreadsheets. Project resources, the project manager, as I described, will have the right to authenticate and perform roles and only allow people to see what they should see. Document management, again, as you go through the system, it will automatically generate reports. It'll drop them into specific places, but we know external documents happen all the time. Making it standardized will make it easier. This is what the geolocation does. It allows it in a web view and shows you all the details behind it. So all those big, beautiful, huge tank-driven database that's running this thing, yeah, we can now see that. That's a huge win. We know that we have a lot of grant assurances, and so we are developing screens specifically to manage that. We've promised the FHWA for a long time that we would do this, and here it is. So we'll not only be able to see it, we'll also be able to manage it. More importantly, project managers will be able to manage projects when they run out of original grant funding and have to wait for approval from a grant agency. They can keep working, and we'll be able to track what resources have been used and then reimburse once we get that approval. Thanks, Tim. All of CDOT's EPS success in creating this elegant bridge to a smarter digital CDOT world is due to our Arcadis team leaders. My EPS team is Ertan Akbash, Brian Francis, Charles Love, Lenny Sekuler, Jeannie Kruger, and many, many more behind the scenes staff. Thank you, and I'm available for questions during the presentation. I've also added my email to the chat.
Thank you, Robin.
Next, we're going to hear from Fort Wayne. We'll get our presentation back up, and we're going to kick it off with Uriel Castillo.
I'm sorry, wasn't Sherilyn going first?
Yeah, Sherilyn. Go ahead, Sherilyn.
Hi, thank you for inviting me to speak on behalf of the City of Fort Wayne. I'm Sherilyn Shear, the Program Manager of PMIS. The population for Fort Wayne is over 270,000 people. We service not only Fort Wayne, but we also service some of the smaller communities around us. Fort Wayne has over 1,400 miles of water main pipes. This water distribution system also includes valves, fire hydrants, and service valves that control individual properties. Fort Wayne also has over 1,500 miles of sewer lines and drains, and our stormwater system has over 700 miles of sewer lines, ditches, open channels, and drains. Having prefaced the size and need of our city, our requirements for creating a reliable, centralized web-based software to monitor the life cycles of a project from conception to facility management and maintenance has been met with the Project Management Information Systems, PMIS. PMIS has benefited us from having the ability to track our project's schedules, budgets, and allows for historical document retention. It allows for collaboration and is an accessible format for near immediate communications desired between external users, for instance, our construction contractors, and internal users, our engineering and construction teams. The document retention alone is being utilized for scanning and uploading mounds of paper data and is priceless to us. There are several PMIS favorites that I like. I've been asked to outline a few of them. One of my favorite features is the ability to automate and track the construction contractor pay applications. The pay apps are a module inside of PMIS that provides automation for the contractor to send in their invoices. This feature allows the contractor to submit required documentation to the city, and after our review, streamlines that pay app to the accounting department for approval and disbursement. While PMIS is not the city's only financial software, it does maintain valuable details and tracking for our utility engineering department's needs. In the future, we may be looking into expanding the schedule values portion of this module. As I mentioned a few moments ago, there are several favorites. Another feature I really like is the ability for the inspectors to submit in real time their daily reports with photos. The end user, the construction manager, can see exactly what is going on without leaving their desk. It was interesting for me to see this feature in action when I was shadowing an inspector one day on a job site. And as soon as he saved his daily, it just so happened the construction manager called the inspector. They were able to discuss immediately the progress before we even left the site. Lastly, another favorite feature I'd like to mention is the change proposal workflow. This workflow demands some specific expectations of the contractor, including a deadline for using this option, when they need to seek an adjustment for contract time, contract price, or both. There are time constraints for using the change proposal. The change proposal workflow easily identifies whether a contractor has abided by these time constraints, and the target response dates for the contractor are clearly visible. As you might expect, our city users are tasked with maintaining documentation for their projects. Utilizing PMIS retains the historical details for future needs while Going Green initiatives are met. As so often is the case, the user needs to move on to the next project before their current project documents have been 100% uploaded into the PMIS digital library. Uploading documents can be time-consuming and a burdensome task since we strive to be fully compliant with every document placement. We at the City of Fort Wayne continue to take full advantage of every opportunity to automate and streamline our processes for the City Engineering Utilities Department, and we're looking forward to future visuals as it relates to project documentation requirements. In the very near future, we intend to take what we've learned and what our users are asking for and implement some Power BI dashboards for tracking project documentation. Thank you to Arcadis and especially Samir Shroff. The support and encouragement he and his staff provide has been extremely key to the successes we've achieved. I'd like now to introduce our next speaker, Uriel Castillo.
Thank you, Sherilyn. As Sherilyn mentioned, my name is Uriel Castillo. I'm a program manager in City Utilities Engineering. I oversee several groups that are within our environment, including GIS, CAD, real estate, and what we call PMIS. We're still getting used to the Portfolio Insights name, and it's interesting that we call it different things, but overall it's the same platform. We're very happy with it. When I came on board back in 2022, it was a great challenge and thing because I've always liked technology and working with software. So I'm going to share a few things just in our environment, mostly in screenshots, but we're very excited where we're going with PMIS, and we are excited in the partnership that we created with Arcadis. The first thing I want to share is the engineering submittals module. This is a module that was getting created when I was coming on board, and I got the pleasure of being involved in finishing. This module allows external entities such as inspectors and even our internal staff to submit files and documents associated with the project. The nice thing about this module is that as you submit these documents, they go through a workflow in PMIS. There are reminders and there are notifications that get sent out, but ultimately these files get saved automatically in the appropriate folders within our environment inside of PMIS, which what we call our digital library. That's a huge win for us, because if you submit a file through here, it goes exactly where it needs to go. The appropriate people are notified and so on. And you don't have to go and manually find the folder and dump your files. The other piece of this, if we move to the next slide, is that we've also integrated Autodesk Construction Cloud, which is also called Autodesk BIM Docs with PMIS. So with the help of Arcadis, we were able to use some APIs, the Forge API that Autodesk provides, and integrate the engineering submittals with BIM Docs. What this does is it syncs up, it sends the files to BIM Docs. That's an option when you do an engineering submittal. It sends it up to the cloud for collaboration, for markup, for any type of work, for even, you can even view files in there. Autodesk Construction Cloud has many types that you can see. So it's an awesome thing. And also it allows us, once we're finished with the documents and the process and the workflows, it allows those files, and it pushes those files back into PMIS for the final resting place in archives. The next thing I want to mention is something we've done recently. We have just recently worked with Arcadis to push out a new digital library that is in folder structure. The digital library gives us a lot more modern features. You can see on there, you can have favorites, you can do drag and drop, you can do a lot of neat things that are much more modernized. But the PMI, the engineering submittals, basically dumps files where they need to be. Just recently we simplified the folder structure so that it was easy. We know that if we go to folder number 6 here, as shown on the screen, you can find all the invoices associated with that project. You don't have to go through different phases and so on the project to find those. The next thing that's exciting that we've been working on for a couple of years is a process effort we're calling the document upload. This works together with the simplified folder. It allows us to upload multiple documents at one time. Currently, we're working through setting up templates so that if you set up your project type through a template, it will give you the list of all the files, types, and files associated with that type of project. You can easily hit a button and select the files that you want and then hit upload. So it'll be a lot more intuitive and easy to follow, and the programming that Arcadis has done will allow us to save those files in the correct location. The next slide will show you a little bit similar to what Robin did. She showed something similar like this where you can upload documents through drag and drop. You can do multiple files, and you can give a few attributes and then hit upload. The documents go where they should. So it's super exciting to see other cities and companies like Chicago, the city of Chicago and Robin, even though they are fairly new to PMIS and Portfolio Insights, it's exciting to see that even they have some things that we've been, talking about and having to work, such as the maps. And we're a very heavy Esri user group, so that's something that we've known is possible and it's easy to do, and we have started discussions on that. The next slide shows us something we built in for our GIS group. As I mentioned, I'm also the GIS manager, so we built a workflow in here for GIS mapping requests, especially all of the GIS mapping requests that are associated with our capital improvement projects. We want those tied to the project, so we built a workflow in here that is super simple. It's not any rocket science type of thing, but it allows us to do tracking. It allows us to see ball and cord progress, and then in the end, PMIS, is a database which ends up being something you can tap into with multiple other tools like Power BI. You can see progress, status, statistics, and things like that. So if we go into the next next slide, you can see this is an example of a Power BI. They're called reports, dashboards, whatever you want to call them. We have hired some staff internally who are great with programming and also GIS and just data analysis. And so using something that's also newer in Portfolio Insights and PMIS called APIs, at least the access to them is new for us. We are able to now tap into live data, so we can definitely get insights. The plan is to do this also for projects and different aspects of it. This is just some slides that we use just for the PMIS requests, which, any data that you have inside the database, you can do things like this. The next slide shows just another view into this mapping request, which shows you, and we had done this before. The exciting part about this is that now this is going through APIs, which are live. You're tapped into the live data, and Arcadis has been partnering with us to give us more and more access internally and work together on different things like this. The next slide also shows you that same workflow with just different views. These reports allow you to build in all kinds of sliders and dates, drop downs, filters, which are great to make, analysis and great decisions. We have another one that I don't think I included on here where we assign, it's also tied into our SharePoint internal site with Microsoft, where we are able to do approvals and assign projects in GIS and mapping requests, things like that. And then finally, as I get close to the end here, the vendor module that we have inside PMIS is just something I wanted to mention, because this is another integration that we've built in, where this is tied to our financial system, where we can actually look at different purchase orders, different vendors, see what projects they have. We can actually click on purchase orders and pull up a very specific purchase order for a particular project. So it is really nice. So that's the desire that we have. We definitely want to continue. If we can move on to the next slide. we want to continue. This is again is a view into a specific project related to vendors and the type of information that we can see. Thank you for Arcadis staff for blurring out some stuff in there. Moving on to the future of PMIS, we are very excited because we are trying to work together with Arcadis to kind of push the envelope. We love to be innovative and on the leading edge. So the next things we are talking about are things like maps, and we're talking about more insights and Power BI like things to be on the leading edge, innovative, and we are really challenging ourselves and Arcadis to have PMIS be quote unquote smart, to be able to give us very quick, immediate graphics and views into the data so that we can make educated decisions and things like that. So I have some examples here that we got offline. I will say these are not things we built, but these are examples that we're sharing with Arcadis and talking with internal staff that we could do something similar. We have the capabilities in-house now. Recently we hired, like I mentioned, we hired some individuals that can, and now that we have the access and the APIs, it's super easy for us to build stuff like this. It just takes defining the parameters and allocating the time and the resources to that. So yeah, next slide is just another example. We also want to we want to continue the effort on document upload automation. Like I said, the templates that we're working with associated projects and files, we have that on our goals this year to refine that and finish that out. This is another example of a timeline. We actually do have timelines and scheduling inside of our projects. So those are very helpful to be able to see what's been done versus what's been planned, what steps our construction managers and designers and PMs have completed and done. And then that's also tied to some of our workflows that, people are getting notifications and things like that. We also want to further integrate our system to work with other cloud-based systems. We have a document retention system called App Extender that we are working with our IT and Arcadis to see how we can automatically push files from one system to PMIS so that we are no longer having to manually upload some of those things. We're also in the current process of doing a CityWorks implementation project. We'll be looking for integrations there to push stuff that our field operations do, cost, labor, things like that, integrations with our permitting software, and obviously, like I mentioned, our GIS embedded maps. And so these are just other examples, but that's what I wanted to share today. I want to thank everyone for joining, and definitely Arcadis and Sherilyn and Robin for sharing all that great stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Uriel. That was a great presentation from both of you. Just wanted to add one last item, re-highlight what Uriel was talking about. Portfolio Insights collects a lot of useful data for our clients, and we want to help our clients co-create whenever that's available. So this is another example of a dashboard that city staff actually created utilizing data from Portfolio Insights. And so this dashboard and the one right after it are both created by the city with data within the system. So really, we want to make sure that our clients have access to that data. And as Uriel mentioned, with using those APIs, you can have them live data access. And one thing, last item here, next slide, please. We talked primarily about our owners and the city staff so far, but this is a good example of how we provide value to those who work for the city. This is something we developed for contractors. And this screen gives contractors direct access to their project so they can see in detail all the information about their project, making sure that if there are any submittals, RFIs, payment applications, they can see that directly here with their own dashboard. So we try to provide value, a lot of value to end users, not just our city staff and owners, to ensure adoption and their finding value within the system. So, and I think that's it. We can probably jump into Q&A.
Anyone has any questions they'd like to put out there, that now's the time. I think it's a great opportunity, and we certainly have the the experts available to answer any questions or think about how this may relate to your project that you have one of your projects that you have working. And I would take this opportunity. While we're doing that, does anybody have any final thoughts from the panel here on things that they would like to point out? Or I always like to say, when I'm speaking with folks and co-creating is, if you can dream it, we can build it, much to the chagrin of my team, I'm sure. But so far, they've never let me down. And we've been able to deliver on many, many things that we didn't really consider before, but that input and that collaboration has been invaluable for this tool. Okay, it looks like we have something coming in.
We've integrated with Munis at City of Fort Wayne, but over the years, we've integrated with several financial systems, including Oracle, I'm drawing a blank, Microsoft Dynamics, and amongst others.
We've also integrated, Airton, you may be more qualified to speak here, but we have integrated with the City of Chicago system, which is custom. So it's so far, have we run into anything that we haven't been able to integrate with?
No, not so far.
Good stuff. And how has PMIS been used for project scheduling? You want to take that one, Airton?
Sure. So we have scheduled templates to make the lives of our project managers easier. So Chuck, if it's staff in the organization that wants to track planning, design, construction, key milestones and tasks, there would be preloaded templates that they can drop in with the key tasks and milestones that you would like your project managers to track, and it's consistent from project to project, which is very valuable later on when you're reporting across a program and you want to ask the question, how many projects are going out to bid in the next 60 days? Well, that milestone or task would be in everybody's schedule with the same milestone, and you'd be able to report on it. So that's the programmatic project management scheduling. We also handle the P6 very detailed construction schedules. Those are typically generated by the contractor in coordination with the CM, and those we use for visualization primarily because that's coming from, again, contractors typically, and not for the PMs to manage, but just to glean information from.
We also have integrated directly with P6 on one of our Chicago PMIS systems here too. Not CDOT, but another. Any other? Okay, it says, does PI's organized information also help the clients get funding grants ready? Sorry. And comply with funding agency requirements. I'm actually a funding expert, so I'm going to take this one if that's okay, guys, and please jump in, anyone who has something to add. But yeah, absolutely. In fact, this really helps us in the grants world to stay very focused, to it could actually generate reports for the agency, the funding agency. So 9 times out of 10, they've got some prescriptive, you fill this out on a quarterly or monthly basis or however. And since you have the granularity and portfolio insights, you're able to develop those reports with a push of a button rather than having to run around and chase that information. So it does help not only to grab the data easily, but to produce the reporting and even to schedule the timing or, make sure the timing is right and everybody stays in compliance. So hopefully that answers that question for you. It says it appears that PMIS can support both construction and IT projects. True?
Yeah, very
yes,
much.
True.
Idea is all program management that you could have, you can budget, schedule, and manage within the system.
Chris, great question. When did Fort Wayne begin using PMIS?
Longer than some of us would like to admit, probably 2008, Sherilyn, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great lead into a point that I find interesting is, one that's been around so long and the amount that we've been able to sort of build on it and change it and make it much more future proof as you go. I mean, that's the beautiful part about Portfolio Insights is that it doesn't, it's okay, we've rolled it out. That's it. No, I mean, it continues to grow with your organization. And that's the beauty of our customization is that we wrap it around your organization and how you do business rather than forcing your business to wrap it around the software. And I think that's a great testament to that Fort Wayne has been using this for so very long.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
So we have clients who are very much use the features that we give them and they're very happy. And then we have the clients where the users use it and they're like, my God, wouldn't it be great if we could do this as well? And we can accommodate them as well. So it's, those are the clients that are very collaborative and we continue to enhance the product for them.
And I think, Robin, you have a great anecdote when we first came in and started talking about Portfolio Insights for CDOT. And I think your question was, what else you got? And it's been fun from there on out.
Yeah, we've definitely become the 800-pound gorilla of Arcadis. We just keep going, okay, what else could we do?
You're dearly loved. Yes. And I think
in terms of the next question, which is how many max users, we haven't found it yet. We're thinking infinity, but I'll let Arcadis answer whether there's a limit.
No, there isn't. That's really a good point, Prasoon. It's really for both your staff, your city staff or utility staff, as well as all of your partners, meaning engineers, inspectors, construction contractors, et cetera.
Is there an active PMIS user group?
Oh, that's a good one. I want in.
We'll have you lead it. No, I'm just kidding. You've already got too many hats.
Yeah. So that's
we
a
have
really
an
good
internal
question.
user group within the city when we're trying to indicate whether or not something wants to be improved or needs to be improved. I know internal we do have.
Yeah, many of our larger clients have had internal both steering and user committees that help guide the development, but we haven't had an inter-client one, which is, I think, what you might be suggesting, Chuck.
Well, we have, but it's been client to client, right, Samir? So City of Fort Wayne actually went out to Columbus and met with them and shared information. So while it's not a formal, every client user gets together, we've connected our clients so that they can learn from each other.
So we have external clients in Tahiti, so we can go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, let's do it. Yeah, definitely pursue. And I think that help clients co-create. You very much want to have our clients have an input into how it's built and how it's rolled out and to be involved in all of that. It really just makes the experience better for everyone.
And just in the process of these calls, I think City of Fort Wayne and Chicago DOT both had ideas from each other. So the point is well taken, Chuck.
And yes, this is being recorded and it will be shared back in just a few minutes. As soon as we're concluding, I believe the recording will be available. Do we have any other questions? Any other comments from the panel? Comments from the audience? I guess
think-
we'll go
Hey,
ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I think
Yeah.
the thing I wanted to mention is that one of the things that I like is that when we are developing something, we know that Arcadis is also helping us be aware of what other people are developing, and so different entities could use Portfolio Insights or PMIS and develop things and still benefit from the other groups. For instance, we asked for better digital library, and we were told, hey, actually we're working on something like that. Let's talk about what you need. We'll take it together with I'm sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have that on. We'll take it together with what other groups are doing, and we think we ended up with a pretty good product that I heard Robin from Chicago say, hey, thanks for the digital library. We can't take credit for all of that. Arcadis was already working on it, but we were able to give some input on how we wanted that integrated and different features we would like and things like that, which ended up, looks like it's going to be a great tool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Uriel. It's very exciting to see everything evolve. We have a question in here. Who are the best folks to connect for another overview exploring opportunities for other projects at Arcadis? Airton, would that be you?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
or
And myself.
Samir
Or Samir, yeah.
or
Yeah.
Ed Lamb. Yep.
And I agree with you, Pursoon. I love hearing from our clients. I love hearing their experiences, and it really just helps us to do better. So I think absolutely, I really love your comment. Does the PMIS team support user training or user adoption tracking?
Yeah,
Well-
this is a really, go ahead. Erta.
I was going to say CDOT we're agile developing. And so as each section rolls out, they give us the most simple screenshot by screenshot training. And they also demo for us at the beginning, but we record the sessions. And so they've been really great. But the quick user guide has been fabulous. It makes the most senior of our managers who are still using flip phones able to operate in the system.
Oh boy.
That is a really important question, Linda. We do work really hard at ensuring adoption is going on track, and we use a number of strategies for that, and we can go through that in detail. I know we're short on time, but we do have a good amount of experience over the years in what helps with user adoption.
Fantastic. Yeah, we do definitely try to get that training across. I know that's been my experience too as a program manager. So we're about out of time. I do want to encourage you to reach out if you have any further questions. We're absolutely happy to set up another overview or a more in-depth conversation. We'd love to do that with you. So thank you again for your time. Thank you for hanging out with us today and learning a little bit more about Portfolio Insights. And we hope to speak to you again very soon. And thank you to
Thank
our
you.
panel who are wonderful.
Yes.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Thank-
everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thanks
you.
everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.